and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be all about the 10 series I want to finish in 2023. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So in 2022, I had set myself a list of 22 series that I wanted to finish during the calendar year. That was a little overly ambitious, although I did manage to do it. It just didn't leave a lot of wiggle room for other things that I wanted to read, especially towards the end of the year when I still had a lot of books left on the list that I hadn't read. So this year I decided to be a little bit easier on myself, and instead of doing 23 series, although I could, I have a whole video about all of my unread series, which is linked up above if you want to check that out. But I'm just going to focus on 10 of them for this list. That does not mean that I will not be trying to finish other series throughout the course of the year. It just means that these are the series that I'm specifically putting on this list that I definitely want to finish. So we're just going to go through them in alphabetical order according to the author's last name. Some of the series I own books in the series, some of them I do not. So I will just put the cover right here where applicable, but let's go ahead and get into the list of series. So the first one is the Shadowlands trilogy by Kate Brian. The first book is called Shadowlands. I did read this book. I read it probably 10, 11 years ago when it was first released and absolutely loved it. But I never finished the series. This is a YA mystery thriller type series with, I believe, some magical realism elements. I can't quite remember. Because it's been so long, I am going to reread the first book. So the first book is Shadowlands. Book 2 is called Hereafter. And book 3 is called Endless. And my goal will be to read the entire series this year. The second series on this list is the remainder of the Gallagher Girls series by Ally Carter. I have read books 1 through 3, so I need to read book 4, which is called Only the Good Spy Young, book 5, which is Out of Sight, Out of Time, and book 6, which is United We Spy. There are also some novella type books in this series that I am also going to try to read to officially finish the series off, but those 3 books are the remainder of the novels in the series, and those are what I'm going to focus on first. Number 3 is a series that I feel like everyone and their mother has read except for me, and that is the Finlay Donovan series by Elle Cosimano. Now, I am really wanting to focus on this series early on in 2023, and that is because the third and final book is going to be the February pick for the Literally Dead book club. But I haven't read any of them, so I need to read Finlay Donovan is Killing It, which is book 1. Book 2, which is Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead, and then the new one that's coming out in February, Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun. I'm thinking I will do a dedicated reading vlog for this series and post it sometime in February. So we'll cross our fingers that that works out, but that's kind of my plan for those. This is an adult mystery thriller, kind of like a cozy mystery type series, not really a thriller, I don't think, but I'm very excited to read it because I feel like everyone has absolutely loved it. Series number 4 is the remainder of the Athena Club series by Theodora Goss. I read the first book in 2021, really enjoyed it, but for some reason it never continued with the series. So book 2 is called European Travels for the Monstrous Gentlewoman, and book 3 is The Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl. This is a historical take with a bunch of like retellings mixed into it. So you have the daughter of Dr. Moreau, you have Frankenstein, I think. You have just a bunch of classic tales that she kind of twists. And we're following these girls who come out of these families, families in terms of like the classic tales, and their adventures that they get up to. And I really liked the first one. Very excited to read books 2 and 3. Book 2 is like thick, y'all, which is part of why I haven't read it yet, but I am looking forward to reading it, even though book 2 is a little intimidating. Series number 5 on this list is books 2 and 3 in the To All the Boys I've Loved Before series by Jenny Han. I read To All the Boys I Loved Before last year in 2022, enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was a very well done YA contemporary that really kind of delves into a lot of different topics, and I'm curious to see how the series is going to finish out. So book 2 is called P.S. I Still Love You, and book 3 is Always and Forever Laura Jean. So I do want to read those 2 books to finish out the series. I don't have any interest in reading her The Summer I Turned Pretty series. It just does not sound like it would be something I would enjoy, but I did really like To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I'm hoping that once I finish the series, I can check out the Netflix adaptation as well. Series number 6 on this list is a middle grade kind of retelling series by Christopher Healy. It is the League of Princes series. I read The Hero's Guide to Saving the Kingdom, I think is what it's called, back in 2021. It was on my 21 books to read in 2021 list. Really enjoyed it. It's like a romping good time, and I want to go ahead and finish it. It's a middle grade series. It has illustrations. It does not take long to read, and they are laugh out loud funny. You are following the princes from all of the fairy tales that we know very well, but these princes are quite inept. And they get up to some shenanigans, and it's a really good time. So book 2 is called The Hero's Guide to Storming the Castle, and book 3 is called The Hero's Guide to Being an Outlaw. And I would just like to finish that series off. Again, cross it off my list. They're a quick, fun read, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, now we're finally to a series that I actually own, and that is the Aurora Cycle by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I read the first book, Aurora Rising, in 2022. Really enjoyed it. I also loved their Illuminae File series, so I don't know why I put this one off for so long. I feel like there are some definite similarities, but it's different enough that it's still kind of fresh and new. So I did read book 1 in 2022 and want to go ahead and finish the series off. So book 2 is called Aurora Burning, and book 3 is Aurora's End. So I will be finishing this series off in 2023, and I am excited to see where it's going to go. The next one is another middle grade series, and it is the Magnus Chase series by Rick Riordan. I read the first book in this series, The Sword of Summer, in 2021. Just never picked up the rest of the series. So the only one that I currently own is the second book in the series, which is The Hammer of Thor, right here. And I also will be reading book 3, which is The Ship of the Dead. I am going to use a gift card that I received for Christmas to pick up the third book. I think they look really cool. Like the spine is very colorful, very nice to look at, looks really nice on my shelf. And since I did like the first book so much, I'm assuming I will also like books 2 and 3, so I would like to have them on my shelf. So series number 9 is another series where I read book 1 in 2021, I believe. Really enjoyed it, but I don't remember enough about it to just go ahead and go through the series. So I want to go ahead and reread the first one and continue on, and that is the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. Maybe I should show it this way. There we go. So I still need to read books 2 and 3, but I'm going to do a full reread. So book 1 is A Darker Shade of Magic. Number 2 is A Gathering of Shadows, and number 3 is A Conjuring of Light. I have this nice box set because I really loved the first book and then never continued on. So I am hoping that I can get to these in a timely enough fashion because there are other V.E. Schwab books that I would also like to read this year, but I kind of feel like I need to finish one of her series before I start something new. So we will see. I think I'm really going to love these. As I said, I did really like the first one, but I listened to it on audio and therefore I cannot really remember a whole lot about it. So I want to read it in print this time and then continue on with the remainder. And the final series on this list, series number 10, is the Mysterious Benedict Society series by Trenton Lee Stewart. I read books 1, 2, and 3. I thought that was it, aside from this one right here, which is technically the prequel novel. This is The Extraordinary Education of Nicholas Benedict. But then I realized there is a 4th book in the series, which is called The Mysterious Benedict Society and the Riddle of Ages, which I received for Christmas, but I can't put my hands on right now because our Christmas stuff is kind of all over the place. So I will be reading that one as well and finishing out the series. This is another middle grade series. It follows these 3 kids that solve puzzles and save the world, if you will. So this is the prequel. This talks about Nicholas Benedict, who is the man who created the Mysterious Benedict Society. And then book 4 follows the original 3 books and is another adventure that has to do with the children. So I am very, very excited to read both of those, cross this series off. This is a really fun series. So if you like middle grade, definitely check this one out because it is a very, very good time. So there you have it. Those are the 10 series that I want to finish in 2023. That comes out to 24 books. Much better than the 22 series that I was finishing in 2022 because a lot of those were multiple books. It wasn't just like one book and done. So I feel like this is a little bit more manageable. I can sprinkle them in throughout the year and possibly do some dedicated vlogs, as I mentioned, to some of them and have a good time reading them. So that is my list of 10 series that I would like to finish during 2023. Have you read any of them? If so, let me know down below in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.